I don't know if you guys are familiar with a YouTuber by the name of Dante London. Oh, he's a full-time creator, and on one of his videos, he took his RAV4 vehicle, I believe it's a SUV, and he took it into the mechanic to get it checked out. And the mechanic showed him on his frame in the back is all rusted. And he explained if you get into a car accident, the back seat, the back part of the SUV is going to go all the way, pretty much like a pancake. The bumper part is going to go all the way to the back of the seat. You know where where his kid would probably be sitting in the back seat or whatnot, right? So he was letting them know it would be detrimental, right? It would be a fatal accident. So the mechanic was letting them know it would behoove you to take this car home and never drive it again, because it would cost too much money for him to get a frame, right? It wouldn't make any sense. He might as well get another vehicle. So this young man turns around and goes straight to a dealership to see if he could trade his car in. Purchased him or financed him himself a white pickup truck, a 2019 Ram 1500, and the car is worth $23,000. His car note would, well, actually, he turned in his RAV4. The dealership bought his RAV4 for 1500, so that was like his money down, 1500. And the guy had bad credit, so his car note is going to be, or at the time was $695 a month, which is sky high, and then his insurance would be $495 a month. So just with the car note and the insurance alone, he's going to pay $1,190 a month. That's not counting gas in the vehicle. That's not counting maintenance in the future. That's not counting registering the vehicle every year. It's a whole lot that goes with it, right? And young people don't really think about that, because I've been in this situation too when I was younger, not really thinking, right? And he signed a 6 year contract, or 6 year loan, I should say. He financed the vehicle. His credit score was in between 400 and 500 credit score, so it was terrible. Because his credit was so bad, his interest rate was 20.83%. That's ridiculous. And so he has a 6 year contract, 6 year car note, $695 a month. So after 6 years, if you think about it, of paying $695 a month, he will be paying well over $50,000. So that's what, 2 or 3 times more than what the car was initially um, worth, right? Because the car is initially worth $23,000, not over $50,000. So the young man didn't read the contract, and it shows on the video, right? This guy's just high signing. He running around the vehicle. He's videotaping everything, the outside of the vehicle. He's videotaping the inside of the truck. He's just jumping up and down. He's not using his brain, right? He's not thinking like a boss. And a lot of times, this is exactly what the dealerships are known to do. They take advantage of young people. And then the next day, he read his contract and he realized that he got screwed. They screwed him, but obviously he screwed himself, because he did not read the contract before you signed the document. He realized that the interest rate was 20.83%, and he did a bunch of research after he signed the document. Once you do that, we all know, right? It's too late. Now, here's the cautionary tale. Here's what makes sense to me. And young people need to really understand this. Uh, if you don't know anything about purchasing a vehicle or having a car note, uh, you better do your homework, do your research, educate yourself before you sign uh, these documents, the contract, uh, and don't just wait. Don't just wait till you get there. Do the research before you even get there. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing, bring your father, bring your mother, bring an aunt, bring an uncle, bring a grandmother, a grandfather. Bring somebody who's done this already, who has purchased many vehicles. Um, Even one of my sons, they purchased a vehicle, and he got screwed over. Why? Because he wanted to do things on his own, and he didn't tell me about it. He just went and did it. He didn't ask me what are my thoughts on it. And again, you want to young people, you want to do your homework before you sign any documents or any purchase anything major. You want to do your due diligence. And this is what happens when you want to grow up really fast, right? This young man, I guess he's a YouTuber and he came into money and he's just uh, finding ways to blow his money or making really bad decisions. And to me, what he could have did, yes, the RAV4 was trash, right? And uh, it wasn't safe for him nor his kid nor his whole family, right? He could have went and got him a $5,000 vehicle, certified, a used vehicle, certified, even 6 or 7 grand, but 23,000. And then because he was ignorant, and ignorant only means in the unknown, he ended up paying over $50,000, 2 or 3 times more than what the vehicle was originally worth. And he couldn't take it back because once they made the final sale, these dealerships don't care. Once they get their money from the bank or whatever the case is, it's a wrap. So let this be a cautionary tale. People who make silly decisions. I make mistakes too, but I never made these kind of mistakes. And I had sense enough to, if I didn't know something, especially when it comes to a big purchase like a vehicle, I'm gonna go talk to my grandparents. I'm gonna talk to my mom and dad. I'm gonna talk to somebody that's smarter than me, that's wiser than me, that's been around the block at least a few times. So drop a comment in the comment section if you guys experience, your kids making these blunders, or somebody who has, or you yourself as a young adult have made blunders like this, or you've thought about it and you saw this video and you're like, nah, I want to do my homework because I don't want to get screwed at the end of the day. And this ties into also what I talk about usually. This is why I have my new background, right? The bricks, because life represents the hard knocks of life, right? When it comes to your money, you don't want to live. Say this is where you're at with your money. You don't live over your means. I like to live under my means because that means I have money left over and I have some wiggle room where, yes, I can pay all my bills and I still have money left over where I can save some money, possibly invest some money, and go from there. I'm not a financial guru, but I know the name of the game on the basic level is to live under your means. So this is you here. You live under your means, and then you ain't got to worry about much because you're on point, right? You're living under your means. You're not living above your means. This is Mike Chevalier, keeping it simple and precise.